Hey, how's it going? Hope you guys are doing well. We're going to be doing a timeless reading today. As per the usual, we are going to be tapping into the astrology for the day, the planetary transits. If you don't want to see that, I'm going to timestamp below so you can just go straight to the tarot portion. But that said, I'm going to have the charts and the transits right here. And we're going to go ahead and get into it. So the thing that I'm most drawn to today is we have a lot going on with Venus and the moon. If you take a look down to the moon section and Venus section on the transit chart, we currently have Venus squaring Saturn, and we also have the moon squaring Venus, but we have the moon sextile Jupiter, but also conjuncting Saturn. So this whole energy to me is old karmic cycles in relationships. And I feel like this is something that's playing out within yourself, within your immediate friend group, within your love and relationships. Really in all areas of relationships, I feel like we're being asked to look at the ways in which we are showing up in other people's lives, and also kind of taking a look at the extent to which we allow certain things to continue. And I feel like that has a lot to do with particular dynamics, and this is just going back to like old karmic cycles. This is healing a lot of old karmic cycles in general. And even though there's a little bit of pressure between Moon and Saturn, right, the emotions and trying to put some kind of organization and trying to understand those emotions, we have Moon sextile Jupiter. Sextiles are essentially very similar to trines where the energies are working together but still remaining separate. And so with the conjunction, that pressure between Moon and Saturn, and then Venus squaring Saturn as well, creating that stress between these energies, all of this pressure I feel like is being relieved through us pushing through this. It feels like a portal, pushing through this emotional portal that's leading into to a place that's allowing your blessings to come in. And I feel like that's kind of what's helping you get through this cycle. Is it's almost like a bittersweet energy. It's like on one hand you have all of this stress and these things that you're like fears coming up, the fears of repeating the past, I feel like, and it's almost like all of these really beautiful new things are here for you, but those fears are still coming up. And I really feel like that's tied to either people from the past that you're still connected to, or old ways of thinking and feeling that you're still connected to. Other than that, sorry, my nose is kind of itchy today. There's nothing else that I'm really being drawn to in particular. We do have, I guess, Chiron squaring Mars, which I do feel like is causing a little bit of, it's just like trying to not take action from that wounded space. And I feel like this goes back to those cycles. A lot about cycles and emotions and love and relationships. If you take a look at the chart, we do have the moon is in Aquarius, Jupiter is in Aries, and what else are we looking at? Venus is also in Gemini. And so this mostly feels like a lot of like mental energy, kind of why I'm being drawn to the signs today. It's one of those things where it's like all of this pressure that you may be feeling, I feel like it's mostly internal. It's a lot of repeating thoughts and thought loops and things that you kind of have to work through within yourself and learn to separate yourself from your thoughts and understand that your thoughts are just flowing, and there's not necessarily, it's one you just got to let it flow. You know, you can't sit here and try to tell yourself, I can't think this, I can't think that. Just let yourself think and feel what you're thinking and feeling, and let it flow like a river, right? I'm going to go ahead and leave the astrology portion there. I'm timestamped below if you don't want to sit through that. We're going to hop right into the tarot portion. We actually do have a new deck. So it's called the Ethereal Visions Tarot Luna Edition, and it's iridescent. It is a beautiful deck. I really like the box. If you guys want to take a look at the box, it is really, really cool. I got it from my local crystal shop today. Really, really nice deck. It is by Matt Hughes, and he added 2 extra major arcana into the deck, which is the Artist and the Well, 2 major arcana. So it's a really, really nice deck. You guys will see as we get into it. It's got a lot of iridescent cards, really nice designs for every card. It's really, really well made. But that said, man, we're going to go ahead and hop into the reading. If you want to book a personal reading, watch the extended videos, or listen to my music, all of that is in the description. I just wanted to apologize. I have been very behind on the past 2 extended videos, so I don't think I'm going to take today into an extended so I can take the time to edit the other 2 extendeds that I still need to release. Yeah, man, but that said, this is a timeless message. If it doesn't resonate, don't force it. Let's see what comes out for us today. Okay, so bottom of the deck we have Death. Trying to get you to see these designs here really nice. I don't know how to get it to focus. There we go. That's really, really nice. I really like these cards, man. So I do feel like Death here. I like because you have the little flower signifying, yes, there are endings, but new life is being born from this. And I feel like this is talking about those cycles, okay? Let's go into the cards. We have the 8 of Swords. Really want to try to get you guys to like see the cards. Yeah, so we have the 8 of Swords. Maybe feeling trapped in these cycles. We have the Page of Pentacles. And we also have the Knight of Pentacles. Very nice cards. So, getting into the messages, the cards are beautiful, but we do have some messages here. I feel like the only thing holding yourself back is you keeping yourself stuck in a particular mental pattern, and this is going into the astrological aspects we're talking about today. There's some kind of pattern here that either you keep repeating or you're afraid of repeating. And with the 8 of Swords, Page of Pentacles, and the Knight of Pentacles, I feel like this is essentially what is possibly coming to an end. I mean, that's what I'm seeing with Death. Right? That's what's coming to an end here. And we have Temperance also at the bottom of the deck. And then we have the Devil. Okay, so here's Temperance. Very beautiful card. Love these cards. And we have the Devil. So, again, I feel there's a lot of balance. This is kind of balancing act I feel like is going on. Remember, this could always be like another person's energy you are connected to, so if it doesn't resonate and you feel like that's the case, that might be the case. But if it doesn't resonate, you know, don't force it. If you don't feel like you're stuck or you don't feel like you're struggling with a pattern, this may not be for you. But it really feels like some really old karmic relationship, and keep in mind, like, all relationships are karmic in their own way. And I feel like that's kind of the karma that's coming up. These are karmic cycles, a very karmic time of healing. I don't feel like this is something where you're repeating cycles. I feel like this is you stepping into a new cycle. And it's almost like there's this fear of that being a repetition of the past. But I think it's just, it's a new cycle, but because you don't have the experience in that cycle, you're trying to gain your footing here. And I feel like Spirit's asking you to really take a look at what it is exactly you're planning. Like, what exactly do you want to do in this situation? Like, what is this asking of you? Is this something where you feel like it's asking more than you can give? And if that's the case, excuse me, maybe you have to have a conversation, a tough conversation with somebody. My voice is acting up. I'd like to go ahead and clarify this. What is it that's keeping the collective stuck? Okay, we have Judgment. And we have the World. It almost feels to me like it's almost like there's a physical location that's making you feel stuck. Maybe like you really need to move out of where you're living, or maybe you just need to be somewhere different for a little bit. It's kind of the message. Maybe you just need to kind of get out of the house, go somewhere that you've never been before, and that will allow you to see things from a new perspective, right? This is we have both cards that this person actually added to the deck. We have the Well. Trying to get it to focus. I probably won't do this for like every single reading I do, but just for this first, I want you guys to be able to see these new cards. I think they're really, really nice. And then we have the Artist. Super beautiful cards, man. This is a really nice deck. I feel like Spirit's asking you to tap into your creativity. I feel like you are a wealth of knowledge, right? You have all of the tools within you with the Well and the Artist. These two, what's interesting about the Artist? It has the wings. This person has the wings on their feet. If you know anything about Hermes, that is essentially Hermes. He has winged shoes and also a winged helmet, but it's mostly known for him to have winged shoes, if I am correct. And the whole thing about Hermes is there's communication, right? Hermes is ruled by Mercury, and if we're taking a look today, we have Mercury in Taurus, which is interesting because I have my Mercury in Taurus, and it's sextile Mars and conjuncting Uranus. And so I feel like this has a lot to do with the unseen, and this really feels like there's a lot going on behind the scenes, and Spirit's asking you to use your intuitive abilities to make decisions, right? Mercury sextile Mars, Mercury conjuncting Uranus. There's pressure between what you can't see, and there's this energy of wanting to take structured action, wanting to communicate a particular direction. If this is in a connection, this is essentially you wanting to move things to a new space and be able to work through whatever it is that you are both going through to end this cycle, to start a new cycle. Right? I feel like there's the message I'm getting with the Well. If you know anything about wells, it's essentially needing to dredge up the water from the well, and you have to tap the well, I believe, to get the well to actually flow. And so I feel like this is you needing to tap into the unseen. There's this deep energy of you needing to tap into your spiritual nature. That's going to be different for everybody. For some people, this is like meditating for like an hour or two, some kind of like singing bowl video. To others, this is literally just going for a walk in nature, or this could just be you doing something that you really enjoy that puts you into a meditative space. There's a need to essentially embody that deep aspect of your spiritual nature and revive that. I feel like there's a revival of that going on, and that's kind of what I feel like Spirit is asking you to lean on as all of these old cycles are coming back up. If it feels like things are coming back up for you, think about the deeper spiritual lessons at play surrounding whatever it is you're going through, right? I'm going to continue with this deck. Let's see. How can collective maneuver these cycles? Why, what I want to know is why exactly is this coming up right now? Why are these cycles coming up? What is this going on right now? Okay, bottom of the deck we have the King of Cups. I feel like this is a need for you to really get in touch with your emotions, to understand what it is you're feeling. Try to explain that. That's kind of what we were talking about earlier, right? The Venus squaring Saturn and the Moon squaring Venus. I feel like there's some really tumultuous time you went through in your love life, whether that's friendships, family, or otherwise. And this is a need for you to really take a deeper look at the things that are playing out for you in that situation. Even if you're not connected to this person anymore, what is it that you're feeling that you feel like you need to let go of? Do you feel like you're still attached to the idea of reconciling with this person? Do you still feel like you're attached to the pain that they may have caused and there's a need to let that go? And I feel like a good way to work through this is to tap into your creativity, right? Like if you journal, write it in your journal. If you're a writer, write a story about it. If you are a musician or an artist, create some music or create some art. And I feel like that's going to help you essentially move through this energy, right? So as to why this is happening, we have the Three of Pentacles, some kind of contract, old contract playing out. We have the Two of Pentacles. Yeah, I feel like Spirit's really getting you to look at why you're participating in this. We have the Five of Pentacles. I feel like something needs to come to an end here. I feel like there's some kind of challenge in your physical world. I'm trying to get it to focus. Is it even focused? I can't even tell. There's some kind of challenge here, clearly. Four of Pentacles. You may be holding on. I feel like you're holding on a little too tightly to something here. And then we have the Seven of Wands. Yeah, the defensiveness. You know what I'm feeling, man? I feel like this to me feels like something that you've gone through with somebody. I feel like there was some kind of fight. There was an argument. There was a disagreement. I don't know if it was spoken about. I don't necessarily know if you each... It almost feels to me like you both had some kind of conflict and you went your separate ways. I don't feel like there was any closure. I feel like this is happening because you essentially need to find closure within yourself. You need to balance out your emotions here with your mind and your heart and understand within yourself why this is happening. Because it's going to be different for everybody. I mean, the main general message of why this is happening is because there's a need to understand how these cycles have continued to play out in your life and your relationships and how they're impacting every area of your life and relationships. I just feel like there's a really deeper meaning here than what you may be seeing on the surface to what's happening. And this doesn't feel like somebody you're connected to, like actively connecting with. This to me feels like something that came to an end. And there's still this, I feel like there's a need to either cut the cords or you're just still attached or this person is still trying to hold on to you energetically, right? Call all of your energy back to you, you know, release all energy that is not yours and cut all cords draining your energy across all space, time, and dimensions. All right, let's continue with this deck. Okay, so we found the why. Okay, we found out why this is happening, because there's some kind of attachment to a past cycle, whether that's somebody that you're connected to or not connected to. I'd like some advice on how to release this, please, Spirit. Okay, King of Cups came back out. Maybe there's somebody that you need to talk to about this. I feel like you're just keeping it to yourself. Right, Nine of Cups. I feel like you're not really, like you're really just relying on yourself right now. And I feel like a good way to work through this is essentially like I don't know. I feel like there's a need to open up to somebody about it. All right, we have the Hierophant. We have the Lovers. So definitely a love situation here, but this is in the advice section. We have the Chariot, yeah. Oh, this is a really nice card. And this is also Hermes, by the way, with the winged helmet. This can be communication, balanced communication, and strength. Okay. As an advice, I feel like you need to make you have to have a very real conversation with yourself about essentially either to stay or to go, to hold out hope or to release. Yeah, there's a need to, I feel like there's some old, this is like, I don't know, man, the thing I like about this card here, it looks like a portal to me. It's a window of opportunity. I know the Hierophant can be technically like old cycles and, you know, traditional things, but this doesn't feel like that to me. Kind of why I like this deck. They have a little bit different interpretations. This to me feels like thinking outside of the box. I feel like you need to take a different approach. If this is a relationship that you are still in, or somebody that you don't have any intentions of walking away from, then I feel like Spirit's asking you to control your emotions, to come to terms with what you're feeling, to bring yourself back into balance here. And remember, we talked about earlier, that's through creative processes, that's through meditative processes, anything that you feel like you need to bring yourself back into balance, you know, within healthy reason. If that's not the case, and this is something where you feel like you need to really just, you know, cut your losses and let go, I feel like Spirit's supporting you in that decision. All right, Spirit is supporting you in focusing on yourself, and by choosing yourself, then we have the Ten of Cups here. Right? By doing that, and choosing to walk away, that's what's going to bring you to the Ten of Cups, and that's also what's going to close out this cycle. I feel like part of this cycle is being afraid to ask for help. I feel like there's a need to ask for help, and I don't know if this is this King of Cups. I'd like to clarify who this King of Cups is, please. We have King of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. Right, we're going to keep this out. And we have the Nine of Swords bottom of the deck. Okay. Let's go ahead and who are these people here? The King of Cups and King of Pentacles. I just jumbled up my words terribly there. All right, so who are these people here? Okay. I feel like these are your friends. This is your support group, right? We have the Magician. These are other spiritual people that are on your level, you know, in so many ways. And then we have the Three of Cups. Again, I do feel like these are friends. I feel like you have a really solid friend group around you that you should not be afraid to ask for help. I know it can be hard to ask for help sometimes, right? Nine of Swords, I know you feel like you have to bear this burden by yourself, but you don't. I feel like there are people around you that love you and want to support you. You know, this is why I do these readings, to help you, guide you through these things, but don't be afraid to reach out to the people that you care about, you know, whether that's friends or family. If you're going through a really difficult period in your life, this is a really good time for you to build solid bonds with the people around you. And I feel like you do have a very solid community of people. You know, I feel like I feel like I'm tapping into like a tarot reader as well. You may have some kind of spiritual business here. And I feel like you've built a community of some kind. And by you giving to your community, that's going to allow you to feel supported going through this. Also why I like to do what I do, and I feel like I need, if I'm feeling depleted in some kind of way within myself, I like to do these readings. Honestly, like when I was doing these back at my old spot, I would look forward to doing the readings. Not that I don't now, but if I was going through something, I knew that I can come and do a reading and, you know, tap in with you guys and get love from you guys and give you guys love. And it was a give and take, and I feel like that's what I'm seeing here. As like a final advice through these cards, these people, this king and this queen, this King of Cups and Pentacles. This is you essentially not only building up your own finances and focusing on your career, but not being afraid to be emotional and vulnerable with the people around you, right? I'm going to go ahead and get a closing message here. I feel like I want to dig it. We have a little bit more time. Let's just dig in just a little bit more. See, I want to see what's on the other side of this. What's on the other side of this energy, which you will be out of. It's not permanent. You know, what's on the other side of this energy you may be going through. Ten of Swords, the ending of your struggles, right? It's not going to be forever. We have, what is this? The Page of Pentacles. No, the Eight of Pentacles. Coming to the end of some struggles, man. Queen of Cups, strengthening your spiritual abilities through this. We have the Knight of Cups, possibly even moving into some kind of new love situation. Yeah, Four of Wands. So once you take the steps to really move out of this energy, man, I feel like there's going to be somebody that wants to give you love. that could very well lead to some kind of long-term, it could even be marriage. This could also be like a married couple. I feel like you may be connected to some married couple that is willing to support you through this until you can figure out what's going on, essentially. Like if you're getting out of a tough situation and it just feels to me it's like you're getting out of something, and then there's people around you that want to support you through that, but you have to be willing to ask them. And to me it just feels like this could be your parents. This could also just be like your friend and their partner, like a married couple or something. But this is like what's on the other side of that though, right? The way we were looking at these cards, the other side of this cycle is essentially a healthy emotional connection that's going to stand the test of time. This is you putting in the work with another person, and it's going to essentially help you heal from this, right? We talk about this a lot too. Sometimes people come into your life to help you heal from these things. All right, I'm going to pull one more card. We have the Wheel of Fortune. Love this card. So yeah, man, I mean, this is beautiful. It's like, I know there may be a struggle right now, right? But the wheel is always turning. This is not only the elements, but this is astrologically as well. If you take a look at the card, you see all the different elements up here. You have the bull, you have a lady, you have an eagle, and you have a lion. Those all stand for different aspects of the astrological wheel, all of the elements, right? Like earth, air, fire, and water. So I think, as a closing message with this deck, I'm almost out of time here, is don't be afraid to lean on the people that you love. And I feel like, I feel like there's somebody that, like, don't let this hold you back from this. I feel like there's something coming in for you with the Knight of Cups and the Four of Wands, some kind of new beginning here with somebody that can very well be a long-term loving relationship. We had the Ten of Cups. Remember, we're moving from the 9 to the 10. You're coming out of this overly independent energy, and that's allowing you to manifest these new opportunities. Okay, let's get one more closing message with the animal messages. Do I have time? Yep, I have like a few minutes. So closing message here for us, spirits, please and thank you. Bottom of the deck, we have the beaver. Beaver says, investing in home comforts provides security and family togetherness. We have buffalo. Bison, excuse me. Recognize the riches of the past and the abundance of the present. Very fitting. And then we have the lion. Banish loneliness by reaching out to special friends. I don't know how else to tell you, I feel like investing in your home life, making sure that your home feels like a home, reaching out to your friends, understanding that this situation, while it may have come to an end, there's so much you can learn from this. There's so much to be learned from these struggles. And I just feel like it's something from the past is what it feels like. And it's allowing you to move into this new abundant space. It's almost like an alchemical process where you're transmuting all of this pain and this darkness and turning it into light and using that to build your life and connect with new people. Because it looks like there are a lot of people that want to give you love, but just don't let this past hold you back, right? That said, I'm going to leave it there. I love you, and I'm so very grateful for all of you and for watching and showing love. It's really, really nice to know that I have a community to connect with whenever I do a reading, basically. I don't know how else to say it, but I appreciate you guys, man. If you want to book a personal, watch the extendeds, or listen to my music, that is all in the description. With that said, I'm going to go and leave it there. I'll see you in the next video. I love you. Goodbye.